Oh man, baby, this is the mystery package. Is it a 10-minute game or is it a 2-hour game? It's Calp time. Boys, gals, non-binary pals, welcome to Age of Empires 4 action. We've got Calp on the Abbasid playing on Himayama. And in the blue, Jeanne D'Arc is being manned by the wonderful Pathalus. If you're not familiar with Pathalus, or as they've called themselves here, Pathalak, they are a fairly competent player, actually. They're ranked 67th on the leaderboard right now. I think the way he usually likes to describe himself is like Mister's right-hand man. I think he's the way he introduced himself before. Pathalus is a really nice guy. I met him at Wallalow last year. Really smart guy as well. I frequently see him in like the top 200. He doesn't really ever try to like strive to go pro full time, but he's talented enough that if he was able to find the time, I think he would contest. So let's see what he can do on this map. I already can see chat is getting ready to have a panic attack at the idea of a Calp game because the last one we cast went for over an hour. And I gotta say, like, of the top players in the game, Calp does on average have the highest, like, average. He must, like, of the ones we've cast, he has easily got one of the highest average times in his games. And he is playing a Civ that likes the late game, folks. Abbasid definitely is a Civ we've seen exploit that feudal and castle age endpoint a lot more in recent months. I love the way, actually. I think Abbasid has become one of the most rounded Civs in the game, and I love it. But there's no denying that when someone like Calp has it, he's going to just shimmy his butt a little bit deeper in that seat and say, I'm not moving for an hour, KP. And I'm kind of here for it, man. If this turns into a late game, Jeanne D'Arc on the other side, how many games have we witnessed where Jeanne D'Arc just forces a GG at like 20, 25 minutes, right? Where people are like, oh, you got it level 3, it's over. Let's see if that's the type of game we're going to have on our hands. Jeanne D'Arc is going to be the only one building up the School of Cavalry, and oh no. Dog. Are we going there? Are we for realsies? I mean, it's a really good map for trade, but we're going late. Okay, no. This is a 50-50. This is a 50-50. All right, we could be going late. Alternatively, hear me out. Jeanne D'Arc spots the traders, kills the traders, gets level 3 really quickly. We're going short. This is kind of risky what Calpa's doing, because he's up against a Civ that builds knights inherently, and Jeanne D'Arc is like a more aggressive French, if you think about it. She's always looking for fights. Jeanne D'Arc is that friend you have that you never allow to drink at the parties because you know they're going to start fights with random people. She is always looking for beef. Well, pork. But I'm talking about fighting type beef. So the fact that he's going trade means he has to actively plow to the map, which kind of plays into this, right? It plays into that aggression. All right, let's see how it goes. We'll speed this up a little bit because nothing unordinary is happening. We've kind of capped everything that is there to be highlighted, right? He does have Flexi on this map as well. It's a shorter trade to the south, but it's very easily protected. I could see a world in which he does the initial trade to the north side and then defaults to the south side because he can easily wall it, right? Like, actually, yeah, this is natural wall, and then you just wall here, and then you can trade. It's not going to be the biggest amount of gold. Yeah, he's doing it. I think he has to be, right? I'm really hoping this is... No, he's being greedy. Okay, this could be a really quick game. Wait, what? Jean's trading as well? Dude, he went School of Cavalry and then still went back for trade. I did not see this coming. All right, Jeanne in the meantime is playing out to the ball. That's going to be some cheeky XP being gathered up. Dude, what is this game? And now he scouts the trade on the opposite side. They both had the same idea. They may be a continent apart, but right now, they're both in Spider-Man suits pointing at each other. Knights are on the way. Calp has got the reaction of spears already, but like, how do you defend all this width? You have to wall it up later, but for the time being, you don't have that option. One nice thing, actually, by placing the markets in the corner, he's getting this beneficial trade route around the back of the tree line. If this was run around the front, everything dies. Now, that being said, everything is still going to die. What makes it worse is Jeanne already wanted to come here for the board, but now you're going to get the bonus. Wait, no, leave him alive, leave him alive. No. Oh. Okay, hear me out. Okay, damn. I was going to say, you let the traders come through and then you kill them, but not willing to. Jeanne is going to farm a field day here, by the way. The amount of wolves that are aggroed in this area, that's 12 XP times 3, so 36, plus the 50 on the boar. This is a lot of XP into Jeanne before the 10-minute mark. And spears are on the way. The problem with spears here is, like, against a standard French, you would screw them here, right? Because, oh, nice. Knights versus the spears. But this isn't Knights versus spears. This is Jeanne D'Arc, baby. This is Bravo 6 Jeanne D'Arc. Another 50 XP in the bank. No way that you can contest this. This is pretty annoying for Carp, but he's going to go for the other trade route we talked about, right? This is the pivot you have, and this is easily defendable. However, Knights are on the way there as well. Thank you, thank you. I'm glad someone enjoyed that pun. If I was to do comedy work at a bar, I know I'd at least have one ticket sold. But this is kind of rough, right? Like, he doesn't have enough spears to defend both sides, and he's already trying to trade on both ends. There is one upside right now. And that would be that Jeanne is not involved in this. She's not getting all that XP right now. However, you are still losing a lot of traders. In fact, will she get there in time for maybe one? She might be able to just pinch the spearman instead. This is kind of dicey, because if you're doing what Kalp is doing right now, where you show up with less spears than there are knights, what will happen is you'll get stunned when you stun the knight, but the other knights will kill you. With the archers here as well. Like, what is Kalp's idea? This is such a weird game right now, man. Like, this is classic Kalp, where he's like, oh, no, you've killed me. Just lies on the ground, dying, bleeding out, but still finds a way to pick your pocket. That's a good way, actually, of defining Kalp. He always just tries to find his greed no matter what you do to him. And he's still doing that in this game right here. It's only spears. Your opponent has built archers plus knights. Realistically, he should be building horsemen into his comp, but Kalp just says no. Meanwhile, behind this, the French are trading. He's walling it off as well. Oh, no. Oh, this is pain. This is actually pure pain, because remember what we said? Like, the benefit for Kalp before is that his traders were going behind the tree lines. But this is really smart by Pathless. What Pathless is doing is this wall, when they recalculate their route, the optimal route now is probably going to push them around the front of the tree line. Okay, scrap that. He's not even going to leave it open at all. He's taking it away entirely. I think this would have been better if he left a tiny gap here, just so that they kind of like run around towards it. Traders are starting to be shut down. Jeanne has literally just been getting her leg days in, hasn't she? Where is she right now? Is she down here? Dude, stick a Fitbit on this girl. She's been doing laps. It's kind of annoying, because what Kalp is doing is, in a weird way, I don't want to say efficient against Jeanne, because he's still losing a lot of traders. But if you were to lose value, this is the way to do it, right? Like, he's actually not losing anything with Jeanne in range, bar like 1, maybe 2 traders. Everything else is happening away from her. So right now, Jeanne just kind of feels a bit worthless. She will eventually get level 3, but it's not going to be those game-breaking timings that forced an insta-GG. Like, Kalp is going to get an opportunity to thrive. And now, with all that time bought, he's a big boy. It's time to start walling himself in. Even covers this basis just to be safe. And that means that he will at least have about 3/4 of the map trade, which more or less gets you what you need. Yeah, 42 gold plus the 10 food each run. Pathless now has to dive deeper, but this is where you become predictable, right? Where the spearman can cut you off. However, Kalp was out of position here. He was guarding to get the wall up, so he might actually hemorrhage some. Quick wall from Kalp. Can he get this? Okay, it looks like it's going to be in time, so that's going to force a wraparound. Spearmen are going to arrive. Now, if Pathless goes in, he could kill a bunch of villagers, but he might not get out. Micro away from Kalp. One villager going down. Couldn't get more than that. Has to shift away. If he cycles this right, there is a world in which he can snipe 1 or 2 traders. The problem is, now that he's ran into the trap, if he's not quick, there's not going to be a way out. You love a good wraparound? I think you mean you like a good reach around. And he's reaching around that trade now, but the problem is if you stop at any stage, like the horseman can body block you and you're going to be funneled. Like, actually, he's going all the way to the trade now. Love the fact that he clicked on them there. That meant that he got the charge to disengage from the horseman. So more trade is going to be going down. The problem is, once again, Jeanne is not participating. She's not even one of those people that just gets the participation ribbon. She just didn't turn up. She was an auto DQ. But he's at least going up in age. Guildhall's on the way, and that means that Jeanne can now play to cap the sacred sites. So you will still get a lot of XP through doing that. The trade numbers, though, how are they looking? Up at 10. Did, of course, get the Gramzar, right? So you've got the second resource coming in, which he did choose for it to be food. Overall, this isn't bad for Calb. No hope in being halved here. Like, he has a decent amount of spears. Pathless' army is very one-dimensional. And he has safe trade now. Calb can be ready to tech up in a minute. I think he doesn't need to keep scaling army. If he does, it's kind of bad. This is like one of the most idle Jeannes I've seen, though. One big surprise was that he didn't move Jeanne back home. Little tip for people playing Jeanne Turl. She has this aura right here. Construct the kingdom. You should be using this for your landmark age up. Right? Remember, she has the 33% faster build speed when she's level 1. When she goes level 2 and beyond, it turns into an aura, affecting all nearby villages. So if you're not going to attack with Jeanne, you should have her back at home, allowing this tech up to happen quicker. Another big tip is to use that for building castles. She builds castles so quickly when she's nearby. Oh, check this. Horseman raid in on the trade. Well, it's about bloody time. It took 13 minutes, but first blood, at least of the French blood, has been drawn as he'll find a few trades for his trouble. Now committing to the base. Jeanne. Whoa, yeah, whoa. So that was interesting. Pathless just trying to keep the game interesting. She may have bitten off more than she can chew there. There's a lot of damage under these spears, but realistically, you need the archers to tickle them all down first. It's going to be a transition now coming into men-at-arms from Pathless. Cool idea considering what he's up against, but considering the camels have been added in, Calb has a reasonable answer. In with the cleave. Spinning like a Beyblade, baby. Some good XP farming. I think that Jeanne might be closer to level 3 than you'd expect at this stage. Has got another one of those holy rafts. So we'll go for another smash. Notice that he's biding his time. Should be able to get one more strike out, but Calb is not going to give it over for free. We'll start to retreat away, and level 3 is in. So there you go. Pathless makes it up. However, Calb is now going to make it up in a different way. Culture Wing is on the way. This is going to be pretty strong here, actually, because I think he's looking for the cheap tech upgrades because he wants to stick Spearmen plus Camels. Camels aren't bad here, by the way. There's a lot of heavy armor coming out. Jeanne has switched into men-at-arms. Would love to see Pathless consider gathering stone. Something I have not really seen any Jeanne wielders do yet is heavily leverage the companions. They are such a powerful force. The Jeanne's champions are better men-at-arms. Look at their stats. Extra base damage, extra health. On top of that, when they are near Jeanne, they get extra armor and extra damage. Actually, I think that's he's getting it from the armor, the aura right now that I was waffling on about, right? There we go. +4. Obviously, that's going to be the +2 upgrade, and then an extra +2 from the aura. It's incredibly strong, but the only way you can get these is by A, using the summon ability, or B, by building keeps. If you build keeps and consecrate them, they're a very cost-efficient unit to produce. So, well, just keep an eye out for that, because if this game goes late enough and you do have that Guildhall switch to stone, which Naughty Boy Pathless doesn't yet, you can actually just spam the Magano line, and it basically turns into pseudo-Raxus. Break through the wall in the meantime, men-at-arms, just farming that XP for Jeanne. Trying to be careful not to just run into the spear line here, right? Nice cleave through, we'll clear up some more of them. Also have to respect the camel, because the camel is going to negate 20% of your damage. Jeanne in deep here. So she's going to start chasing after that trade. Really, your goal here is literally just to run circles and play the Benny Hills theme tune so that you can just farm these spears. Knights are now turning up. So feels like Calb is hemorrhaging some ground here. The worry now is the trade is about to be exposed. The Knights do come in. Oof, that's going to be pricey. Of course, they are cheap if the Abbasids 40-40, but still adds up fast. It's still a lot of XP in the hands of Jeanne. Jeanne, who has just used the Divine Restoration. That's not going to force him back home as Kalp is waiting on that upgrade. I think, oh wow, he didn't even wait for Preservation of Knowledge, so can't afford to wait the 26 seconds for Pock. Instead, just has to get the upgrade straight away. I'm hoping this is going to be Preservation of Knowledge into Armored Caravans, because my god, do your donkeys need it. Like, they are getting brutalized right now. I wish that I could check the XP charter, but sadly, Cap's Rage don't like to develop. And we were in a position where if I'd done that, I would reveal the end of the game. Still no stone being gathered. This is such a weird, scrappy engagement, man. Like, even though the damage is being done, Kalp is still got to be at, like, what, 20 traders? 25. Right now, he's sitting in a room on fire saying this is fine. I mean, it might be. Curious what the switch up is going to be, because Pathless, it is just raw men at arms still. I would love to see them just gathering that stone we talked about. He's got one villager out here, but like just a full surge. Because if you surge and send it, you could even try for like some crazy keep drop on the trade. At which point, Kalp can't trade at all. Camel's now in position. And this is where things start to switch, right? Camel Archers with the 14 damage, just able to kite you constantly. A few Camel Riders are going to come out as well. And Arbalatria is going to be the choice from Pathless. So we're moving entirely away from Cavalry. Makes sense. You did just see Camels coming out. Men-at-Arms plus Arbalatria does beat everything that Kalp is doing right now. And yes, I agree, Green Frog. It is really hard to remember to capture the Sacred Sites, but I don't know how many games Pathless has played as Jeanne, but it's such a big detail missing. Like, the extra XP you get from taking the Sacred Sites, plus the gold trickle after that, you'd be close to level 4 by now. It's something you should never turn your nose up at, not to mention the fact that right now, you're in a position where you feel like you have to dive Kalp's base to kill him. If you just took the Sacred Sites, Kalp has to come out to play. And that's when you can win these fights more easily. Pathless just racing to 0 gold here as he buys back Jeanne again. That's not cheap, by the way. That was 500 gold just spent like that. Priced like a cataphracts, hits like a cataphracts. He can afford it, though. He has got a decent amount of trades. 16 traders working on the backside. It's crazy that she has that ability. I disagree. I don't think buyback is broken, and I'm shaking my head every time I'm having to argue against this. Buyback is a strategic resource. Anyone who's played Dota knows this very well. The way that this buyback works, once you expend it, it's on cooldown for 2 minutes. So if you use her very negligently, you're still going to be ultimately punished for it. The whole logic around this as well is with the scaling gold, 500 into 1,000 gold, it means unless you're going trade, you can't afford to keep losing it like this. And if you are going trade, it's something that your opponent should be punishing, right? So I do think there's a worry that maybe Chamber of Commerce build is going to be a bit strong with Jeanne once they fix the bugs with it. We'll have to see. But I don't think buyback is a problem. I actually think buyback is necessary with this Civ. Considering that it is their being, their very existence is revolving around Jeanne and her abilities, being missing for 2 minutes can essentially just lose you the game. Buyback's okay, but too cheap. I don't think 500 gold is too cheap, right? 1,000 gold is definitely not too cheap. 1,000 gold in the late game, I want you guys to think about how little gold there is on maps when you get to late game. That's the problem with this. She should lose some XP. I think there's a better way to balance this that I've already highlighted before. The concerns around, like, right now, the issue is it's very hard to fight Jeanne because even if you take a good trade still gives her XP. I think the way that fights should work is that after, like, X seconds after a fight is finished, the math should be done on how much XP worth you lost and how much XP worth they lost. And then she should get the difference, right? So if, for example, you lose 10 men at arms, that's 80 XP, right? Oh, sorry, 100 XP. But let's say your opponent lost 20 men at arms. That's a lot more. My brain is fired. That's, sorry, my numbers are wrong there because it's 12 XP per men at arms, right? Because 120. These ones are cheaper because Consecrate. Let's just go the standard price. So 10 of them, that's 120 XP. But let's say you lost 10 men at arms, but they lost 20 men at arms. That's 240 XP. My balance logic is that Jeanne should get 120 XP. That way, if you trade badly against Jeanne, you still get punished. But if you trade well against Jeanne, she gets nothing. she shouldn't gain XP in combat. I find that completely dumb. I'm sorry. I can't. I'm trying to be like polite about it, but like, come on, dude. So what? That doesn't make any sense. You want her to not be used, is what I'm hearing there. Literally, like, how else do you... If you want to choose things that are dumb for how she gets XP, target wolves. Wolves should not give XP. Wolves are RNG. I don't like that. She doesn't get XP while in combat, but gets it afterwards. Okay, there we go. That's fair. Well, basically what I just said then, Neri, that you're agreeing with, like that kind of system. Because the way it would work is after you finish the combat, the XP will be calculated. That's what I'm talking about. Anyway, let's focus on the game a bit because tech ups have come out. Pathless has reached up into Imperial Age, and it is going to be the Red Palace. Oh boy. What about she just levels per age? I think it's just going to make fast castles the default. The problem with saying she should just level per age, that I want people to consider, is the worst thing that can happen with a Civ is it becomes one-dimensional. If you make that lock behind age up, she literally becomes a one-dimensional Civ. And remember how boring it was when HRE only done fast castle builds? Do we really want that? Do we want to repeat that? I don't. That's why I'm always a big fan of Japanese. It's like they're kind of underwhelming in the early game right now. But in theory, once that gets adjusted, Japanese are going to... They have the potential to be one of the most versatile civs. There's a reason why I'm so happy when I even say Abbasid mirrors these days. It's because Abbasids have become probably one of the most diverse civs in terms of optimal builds. They do something else now. I've seen builds that involve fast castle or long feudal. If you can't fight as Jeanne in long feudal, you play fast castle. That's at least more builds than what we're suggesting here, where she doesn't get the ability to XP up unless she ages up. And people saying they think that having a... You mean HRE? Oh, they do something else now? They try. They lose. And they do the multi-TC, right, for HRE. So there is different builds. By the way, the argument is that having a champion-style civ is a bad idea. I disagree. I actually like that they're exploring new like territory. I would be bored if they just kept doing the same things. This is them trying to expand the repertoire. One, it's good because it will bring in different types of players. It's going to need balance and sure, but if we're being totally real about this, I don't think Jeanne's the biggest balancing issue right now, the new civs. I think it's the Abbasid's cousin. Ayyubid's is a bigger balancing concern right now. Zhu Ji is a bigger balancing concern right now. Jeanne D'Arc is up there, but I think people have this really polarizing feeling right now because they've gotten used to what this RTS experience is. But I'd like them to think that actually Jeanne D'Arc and what that potentially shows, same with Order of the Dragon, these very different styles to what you're used to seeing, actually open the door to new players that wouldn't touch the game before. And that is a good thing. Cleave coming out. Oof. Jeanne D'Arc, I don't know how close she is to XP leveling right now. Capture age, update your tools. But she has to be getting there. I mean, we're 24 minutes in, and this is about to farm up a storm because, look, he's got the double arbor in placement. Okay, you need to be very careful. Divine Restoration is there. Dude, Pathless is baiting him 100%. He's had it off cooldown this whole time. He's just not using it. He knows. He must be close to the level 4 because he hasn't used the 2 arms yet. If you wait for the upgrade, you can get a cannon instead. There you go. Just keep slapping him through him. That minus 50% range damage is just hilarious here. Wait. Pathless? All right, he's not baiting him, guys. He's baiting me. Oops. I have miscalculated. So this game has gone a little bit wild, a little bit crazy. That's... Okay, give me a trade count. How many do you think we're dealing with right now? Because what I'm seeing is a constantly moving conveyor belt right now. Oh my god. We should buff the Khan? Yes. Actually, I recall literally well over a year ago saying I would be a big fan of them adding new Khan-type units to the game. I said I'd love to see Imperial Age reached and every Civ gets access to a Khan-type unit that gives abilities. Because I think actually right now, Imperial Plus is the weakest point in Age of Empires 4 gameplay. It turns into a meat grinder. You don't have super weapons. You don't have this super power effect. Jeanne D'Arc, in theory, is a movement in the right direction for bringing that level of power. I'd love to see more civs have that. I'd like to imagine that Jeanne D'Arc could be an experiment to kind of introducing hero-type units across the board eventually. And dude, I'm there for it. Get the best of Warcraft in, sort of thing. Pathless, we're going to have to talk. Okay, let's see. 72 traders! Dude, you guys, you need to count. 46, 55, 45. You know who you are. You don't know Calp well enough, clearly. This is Calp we're talking about. Which, by the way, if you needed a bigger hint as Calp, all the eco upgrades instantly get queued. Oh, this game is wild. Look at all the TCs as well. Pathless just... You can tell this guy spends a lot of time with Mister. So many discount keeps here. Rams coming in once more from Calp, though. He's got plenty of wood to work with for the time being. He hasn't switched from food. He's literally just prioritizing food still in the trade. Should be running out of wood soon at this rate, though. Jeanne is back. She didn't actually spawn this time. She must be getting close to level 4, though. The keep is down, so it looks like we are going to see a breakout from Calp. His trade is not going to be shut down. Guys, we are now 27 minutes into this game. I would like you to try and take a guess as to how long this game is going to be. Take your time. I'm quickly going to eat a biscuit because I'm pretty confident nothing critical is going to happen in a Calp game in the next 30 seconds. You know what, Ruffin? That is a good idea. We should have ad time because people should subscribe because this game's going to be so long that you're probably going to get a bunch of ads anyway. So you might as well have 30 seconds. Hey, while all those unsubscribed people are gone, just want to give a really big shout out to all my little pigeonites. Love you, boos. You support the channel. And also, you get the most amazing emotes in return. Now, quickly type something in chat if you're subscribed to make it seem like something really important was said in the break. So then they feel left out. Right. Get to it, because they're coming back in 3, 2. All right, here we go. So, moving out in the mid-map, Calp is gaining a lot of ground. Oh, dude, no. It's... oh, Calp. So many wolves, no. Dude, it's one of those games again. This is literally every Calp game under the sun now. This guy loves walls more than China. Calp loves walls more than Trump. I have never seen a player that walls so much. Calp should have a coaching platform where he just advises and teaches players how to wall. Like, he'll get all the pros sign up, right? You'll literally have Leenock in there, just like with a study pad, just going, Freaking, like, even BC, like, wow, I didn't even think we could use walls that way. Calp literally just made himself an aficionado of walling compared to literally any other player in the game. You know how I said that Calp has, like, one of the highest average times? I am, without a doubt, going to say he probably has double the wall count on average of any other player in Age of Empires 4. You know how Age of Empires 2 has that player called Wall? This is Age of Empires 4's Wall. And he loves his Rams too. Damn, that's a lot of damage coming in the Red Palace. Jeanne still hasn't leveled up either. Really needs to unlock that level 4. He's still holding on his abilities. They're going to come out. That'll protect the workers. But the problem right here is nothing is dealing with these Rams. Sniping out the hand cannons in the meantime. So he's farming up a storm. Please use the Divine Restoration. Please use the Divine Restoration. Okay, how long until Pathless uses the Divine Restoration? Just call it, guys. It's kind of easy to forget, by the way, because right now there's actually a bug with Jeanne. When she respawns, all of her abilities go on cooldown. So, like, she'll respawn in Divine Restoration. Even if you didn't use it before you died, will just be on cooldown. And here we go, folks. It is time for the Blast Cannon. Dude, I love that that's his name. As my WoW and Diablo friends always say, you gotta blast. And it's time for Jeanne D'Arc to blast. So he's got the Valorous Inspiration. This gives the attack speed aura. This is a huge boon in late game fights. This is the type of juice I was talking about for Imperial Age Plus fights. That's really important. That's missing from the game right now. You do have to use it, however. Still holding on to it. Very low on HP, but you will heal up fairly fast here. No biology, which is kind of surprising. I think Pathless would benefit from that. He's going Horseman, and also Jeanne's health is increased by the biology, right? So hope he gets into that soon. I mean, it's even better, right? Royal Bloodline's even higher percentage. Rams moving in now to clean up the TC, and Newcastle going up behind this. Cal, he's getting his own little Magano line going. Really would just love to see these starting to pump out the Jeanne's champions because they are incredibly strong at this stage in the game. Look at their stats, 252 health. They do an insane 24 damage. And look at the armor. Good God. I don't know who's winning this anymore. How many traders do you think? So we were like, let's do a check-in on the Abbasid conveyor belt. It's 80 traders. How many traders per Pathless? I'm going to say 38. 32. Okay. We'll get there, though, folks. We will get there. Push in, though. He just summoned a cannon. Don't ask me how Jeanne birthed a cannon. I'm just going to go with painfully. I don't know like how you smuggle that through an airport, but she's got it. Let's make a quick work of this keep as well. Now, Kalp does have plenty of stone in reserve, so it's not like he's going to run out anytime soon. He can kind of do this all day and all night. Please don't do it all night. So we got some estimates in, and I think like someone said 45 minutes. And we had 3 hours and 20 minutes. Honestly, at this point, I could see either. Cannon's almost done with that keep, though. It feels like the repair crew is just not quick enough this. Mango shot's coming in, but who cares? Just turn and burn onto it. Jeanne charging in once more. A lot of cleave damage if you can get in now. 50 damage in an AoE, but it's just tough against these hand cannoneers. Even the 66% damage reduction, you still will die very quickly to the hand cannoneers. You carry a cannon on you all the time, if you know what I mean. Do I need to report you to the police? Because either one you mean, I definitely need to report you to the police. Double cannon now, and this is where this is going to burn through the resources fast. Remember, they nerfed repair cost heavily. If you have more than 3 villages repairing, you're exhausting a lot of resources. Just look at the rate Kalp is using his stone. When this siege began, he had about 2,100. He's already down to 1,200. Still no answer to this. It's difficult, right? Because he can't dive under the keep. He has got the double covering now. So cannons will have to reset for the time being. There's a lot of horsemen scaling behind this. We have also got the biology in, or rather the raw bloodlines, which means now Jeanne has got a very healthy 810 HP. Good luck cracking that. Holy Wrath damage scales? Yes. Because it's, I'm trying to remember what the number was. Was it 35 or 25 in age 2? So I think it was like it goes, I want to say it was 25, 35, then 50. Kind of needs to. If you think that number's crazy, wait until you see the damage increase you get on the ranged attack. You never see. It goes hard, man. I think like in pure, like level 4 Jeanne does like 140 damage with the snipe. So you can basically snipe out Siege. Not instantly, but... Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, her Q abilities are kind of underwhelming in terms of scalability. In fairness, who cares? She has a hand cannon. She does 260 damage to buildings. Who cares? Oh, Ozutsu or OP, please nerf. Nah. Alright, guys, hear me out, hear me out. I'm pretty sure Valorous Inspiration works with allies. So anyone in the chat who wants some team comps that are OP, run Japanese Jeanne. Jeanne-Panese! Run Jeanne-Panese! Because you will be able to blow up everything with Ozutsu being attack speed reduced. Oh my god, dude. I need to get a 2v2 partner. I'm literally yoinking that. That's the new strategy, the Jeanne-Panese strat. So this is slowed down heavily now. Military wing is coming in. Kalp is going to be able to get that boot camp, which will be a big difference maker. I hope he's going to add in some camels for the armor support as well, because it's just ridiculously strong. Like, if you think about your hand cannons, how squishy they feel, up to 5 armor. Woo. Against Arbitrier. I mean, it's not going to be Gambeson's levels, but it's going to make you pretty bulky. I'm still not really sure who comes out ahead here. My instinct wants to say Abbasid should win this out, but the kind of interesting thing is, like, you have this increase in HP on one side, but you have this increase in DPS on the other via Valor's Inspiration. What? What? Okay. Don't have to worry about that increase in DPS. Jeanne is down again. Gonna have to rename her Jeanne D'Arc with how much time she spends on the floor. Should be brought back in here. Red Pulse is taking a heavy amount of damage right now. We are seeing more Jeanne's Elite Champions coming out, but considering this is like the only keep that's producing right now, it's kind of a mistake. I feel like he needs to just group these together with a keybind and go. But the Horseman raid! Oh my god, he found the trade. Okay, Kalp has a lot of gold, so this is not going to kill him outright, but it's going to hurt on the food. Remember, a lot of his food income right now is coming from traders. Red Pulse is down. Jeanne has been respawned. Jeanne cannot now be respawned. See, guys? Jeanne is balanced. Look at that timer. I feel like Pathless is on a litmus test just to see how often he can just murder his champion. Horsemen are breaking that back line, though. These are bulky boys with the Royal Bloodlines. Means they also are countering out the hand cannoneers. Red Pass has almost been repaired. And so he's just going to have to retreat. Now, keep in mind, Kalp doesn't have much wood to work with, so this is a heavy loss for him. Meanwhile, plenty of traders going down. Look at the worker kills in total in this game. 106 compared to 59. Both sides bad and bruised. But Kalp, quick on the reboom. Still up at 135 eco units. And surging. Well, I'm going to put a prediction in. How are we looking to trade? 36, 80. Now, I have to disjoin, like, any glance I got at the end time. If I had to put a timer on this, I think this is going to go for, like, another 10 minutes. Because the thing that's now happening is wood is still very much available on Kalp's side. Wood is still there on Pathless' side. But what I think we're now seeing is this hand cannoneer switch should just completely shred the Horseman. In theory. Unless he starts using Jeanne differently. The issue is, like, if you think about most of the things that Pathless could build right now, unless he hand cannoneer switches himself, he can't build Arbitrier as a reliable answer because they just get killed. The Horsemen are going to get wiped unless they have clean Zerg Force like advantage. And Jeanne literally just dies before she can do anything. You can't build in the champions because they are slow-moving units against high base damage units. You are pretty heavily limited here. As long as Kalp can, like, get a good fight in position with the hand cannoneers. And the problem is that Kalp kind of always gets a good position for the fight because he's built Takeshi's castle. Aye, aye. Here we go. Like, he already reads it ahead of time. The Horsemen come in, immediately regret life and leave. This army needs to start moving. Now, he has got the cannons. If he breaches in here, he can just flood him with Horsemen north side because realistically what Kalp has just done is overextended. Remember, we have got those Arbalest emplacements on the TC, so as he starts to dive closer, it might be costly. Horsemen wrapping in, looking for the siege. We say yes, please, to those ones. Mango, I don't know what that's doing, but the Bombard's gone. The Mango's on the backside have been gone as well, and if he just now pivots and goes to the trade again, he can start to be a thorn in the side of Kalp. Dude, this is such an annoying game. You're like, hey, we're progressing. We're not progressing. Meanwhile, Knights are going to burst through on the north side. Not many units here to defend, though. Bombards are going to be getting through the castles, and that does mean that the wood on the north side is going to be surrendered over by Kalp. Still has plenty on the south, but let's say that you start to lock out this north side with 1 or 2 keeps if you're pathless, and then you can test south. Kalp's going to run out of wood much quicker than you will. It's in a blood through. Knights are in. 364 HP per. Even Jeanne is in on the party. Hello. So here's the thing that's kind of funky about Jeanne now. Like, you're at a point where XP doesn't do anything for you. How do you guys feel about that? Because you've been moaning about, like, the early game, the mid game, I get that. But how do we really feel about late game Jeanne is what I'm curious about. I'm not saying she should get resources from XP, but no, don't do that. But I think this is where the devs envisioned her fitting, is this hyper late game where, like, the abilities used well can turn the tide of battle. They are counterable, they're playable around. Similar to things like with the Mongols, where when you see the Khan use the attack speed arrow, you back away. When you see him use the armor arrow, if you have movement speed, back away. It's similar to that with things like the inspiration. But this is not inspiring. It's not inspiring confidence right now from Calp. This is a lot of ground surrendered, and the cannons are wheeling in. Where the hell's the army? I mean, apparently it's here somewhere, but it just doesn't feel that impactful from Calp. He's having to chase off these knights on the backside. Did heavily bait him, and now starting to dent into that base. Primary TC being sniped, and it looks like Pathless is trying to go for the win condition. I mean, it makes a lot of sense, right? You're up against the Abbasids. It's TC plus the House of Wisdom, but that House of Wisdom does have almost 30,000 HP. That is 200 HP more than Jeanne. Do you guys like that? That was a dig about her health. Cannons. A fixed head on the target. They're not going to be fast about this. Culverins are going to trade out well against them. Jeanne is going to go down. It looks like he will be forced to retreat. But don't worry. We'll wait 2 minutes and go again. Oh, God, no. You guys didn't have anywhere to be, right? Of course not. I think this is where we're going to start to see Calp slip a bit, though. Because the thing I'm now seeing is even if his trade is kind of mostly unharassed, the army quality is there. Like, there's a lot of credit to Pathless here. He continued to scale the trade. He's now up to 43 himself. This means he can afford Knights. And the reason why Knights are scary here is that Pathless with Jeanne, if he times it right, the boost of heal he's going to get from 30% missing health on a unit that almost has 400 HP is crazy effective in these late game fights. Then the attack speed as well. It just feels like the hand cannons really aren't breaking it anymore. And here we go, the envelopment. Pathless. He just full on forehead sends it. And there's the inspiration coming out. So the attack speed aura is going to charge in. And that's going to force a retreat here. But most of the siege is already gone. A good snipe here by Pathless, taking a great engagement and pushing Calp back once more. So hand cannon count is going to shrink down to next to nothing. Knight count remains almost at 20. Diablo Trio behind this also very healthy. Also getting the Culverins on the backside. One will get away. There's no denying that is a lot of siege loss for Calp. Not much to hide behind. Jeanne is a siege unit. She takes extra damage from Springles. That is a fair point. I'm glad you highlight that. And something to also keep in mind is that because the Bombards are categorized as siege and the Culverin is ranged, she actually takes more damage from Bombards. Dude, that's kind of crazy, right? I'd have to do the raw math, but it's actually closer than you think. So the cannon's going to remove about 60 damage, right? So she takes 160 from a Culverin. She takes 120 from a Bombard. Wait a second. So anti-siege actually isn't the answer to Jeanne, guys. You just need to cannonball. That does also, by the way, mean she gets countered by Horsemen now. It's actually... So the thing I think that also warps people's perspective on Jeanne is she's a weird unit to encounter in the late game. Because in Castle Age, it's like, okay, actually she's now countered by Spears in a weird format. And then in Imperial, she's countered by Spears. She's countered by Horsemen. She's countered by Bombards. Oh no, she died. Oh well. Good thing we... duplicated her. Good thing we've got cloning technology. Let's get her back again. Oh, yeah. Little tip-off. I am going to be doing the giveaway at the end of this stream, so let me just actually link you guys. Thank you for reminding me of that. Here you go. Submit to the giveaway. Like, follow, retweet. And at the end of the stream, I'm going to be giving away a copy of the Sultan's Ascend. Oh man, this game. This is such a messy back and forth. This is trade for you though, like 1-on-1, right? When it's kind of safely tucked away the way it has been set up here. The funny part is like the trade isn't by default safely tucked away. It's just the way they've both built. Yo, wait, is he? The keep drop. Now, I'm not sure. He probably can kill traders before they run away. That's going to start hemorrhaging heavily. And also, Kalp's entire army is north side, so you can't just count this out, right? He's completely out of position. All right, it's time for Jeanne D'Arc, Electric Boogaloo. This time, there is quite a lot of bombards, though. 5 in total, which means she actually almost... She'll die in 2 shots, I think, at that point. I think she dies in 2 shots, guys. 810 health, and you do 120 each. Oh, my. Yeah. If she comes anywhere near this fight, she just dies. Where is she? She's been sent on the opposite side of the map! Dude, this is so effective. The Rams do a lot of damage, but so does Jeanne. Remember, she does siege damage. 200 plus against buildings, so if she starts attacking this, it's going to die fast. Oh my god, what a read. Pathless. I mean, he just baited Kalp hard, so Kalp is completely out of position now. He's still going to lose this fight to the Knights and the Crossbows. But now he's going to start losing the trade, so you can already see the keep just shutting down the traders. Castle's starting to burn. And Jeanne easily can start cleaning up trade down here. Dude, what a read by Pathless. I think this is the beginning of the end. What did we say? We said like 48, 49 minutes. This is a deciding move, because now what's going to happen is Pathless is going to open up the north side. He's going to be able to breach onto the back farms and the trade. And Kalp is now just running back and forth in his own base, never able to react quick enough to the flank attacks. Dude, that was a sick read. Outpost shuffling as well. I mean, if you just garrison this, the amount of flurries coming out, it's very hard to defend this, right? New keep going up. That's not going to work. Pathless a bit too greedy here, but who cares? Look what's coming to the main base. We've been here before. No cannons this time, but plenty of things to kill. The charge in commences. New traders spawning. Not going to see a return on investment. Bombards also now being found out. And I think he may have done it. Jeanne D'Arc goes down once more. But she refuses to go towards the light. Spawns again. Will probably go to the north side of the base. And this game, this is starting to approach a close. There is barely any wood left for Kalp. The food income is not impressive considering what he's spending. I mean, you can argue Pathless is exhausted as well, but he's not at risk of being shut down on his eco. Look at the deaths here. I think Kalp goes below 100 eco. That's kind of a death spiral from there, right? A few Jeanne's champions here. The other trades will get cleaned up, but the siege isn't going to be safe. And just look how many dead traders there are. Okay. This is not going well. It's not going to be a doubt keep. He'll at least get that up in the corner, but the Knights will just keep on diving. They're not going to stop anytime soon. And that summarizes Kalp games perfectly, actually. I went out with a dog, and this same match is still being casted. Wait, you guys wanted, like, you guys didn't want the late game? One person said they wanted late game. Dude, this was so crafty, actually, from Pathless. From both players, actually. Like, the idea to go bombards against the Jeanne is really cool. But the way that Pathless played north and south on this game was such a cool reaction to it. He knew he couldn't win a direct fight because she'd just get countered. So instead, he just kept waiting for Kalp to overextend, and then he went to the opposite side of the map. Like, this is definition, feed Jeanne, and then insta buyback, so you're closer to the opposite side. It's a really cool read. Now, Kalp has at least reset Pathless again. But look at the difference. Remember when Kalp had like 10k surplus food and a few thousand wood in the bank? Those days are gone. Stone is also looking really dim for him. Here we go. Jeanne once again. Divine Restoration, Divine Restoration, Divine Restoration. Praise the button. He really doesn't like that button. Does anyone know if Divine Restoration heals Rams? I haven't tested that, but my instinct is that it does. Which is kind of bonkers, actually. I think I haven't seen many Jeannes trying to end the games with like big Ram spams, but if that works on Rams, I think that's going to be a play that we see develop. Bombards now looking to breach from the red palace. Pathless has been pushed back. The issue I'm seeing, though, is Calb is always kind of stopped by this red palace. The keeps behind him is going to slow things down. So if he can't reach the trade, I got a feeling this will just swing the other way again. Let's see what he can do, though. Why isn't Jeanne losing the Consecrate every time she dies? Because it doesn't work like that. The Consecrate holds. The rest of the stuff has problems, though. Divine Restoration and 2 arms go on cooldown. Same with Valorous Inspiration. So we go, charge in. And Cannoneer Mass is big, and that's Jeanne gone. Oh! Well, he tried to go in for the cleave, but Calb said nay. And there's no ponies left to say nay either, so it's going to wipe the army. Pathless, once again, has to back away. More knights are coming. I'm kind of surprised we're not seeing maybe horsemen here, because I feel like... Actually, I guess the issue isn't gold for Pathless, right? Like, horsemen compared to knights, similar food cost. So I kind of don't blame him going knights, because they're so much more effective pop-wise for what you get in return. And no, she took 5 cannonballs to the face. So just to map it out for people, these units do siege damage. It's 120 times 5. That's 600 damage. 2 shots, Jeanne's dead. So she has to blast hard and blast fast. Here we go. You ready? Run! Run! All right, Jeanne gets away. And they're pushing through. The hand cannoneer count isn't looking that impressive anymore. Looks like we're actually getting a switch into Camel Riders from Calb, but I'm not sure if that's the solution now. Siege, Bombards moving forward towards the trade. But the hand cannons are gone, so the Bombards are going to be killed off here. He still has 3 more behind this, but Pathless is rebooming. Military's neck and neck. Jeanne goes down again. Still no buyback for 30 seconds. I think you just wait at this stage. Maybe I'm wrong, though. Like, he has got decent gold income, so you can kind of afford it. There's a lot of wood in reserve for Pathless, but no real way to spend it there yet. We are going to see the Bombards being finished off. Oh, he's going to find the additional ones as well. Nice pull back. Trade is no longer being hindered for good reason. That's a lot of outposts, good God. Jeanne death count at 20 plus. Dude, I've lost count at this point. You know when you're like, oh, my hamster died, gets another hamster. Oh, that hamster died again. You kind of stop crying after the first 8, right? I mean, that's mainly because your parents never told you that it was different hamsters. So you never realized they died. But okay, this is my childhood just rearing up way too much. Let's focus on the fight. I do feel like the hand cannoneer count is not massing anymore. He's got 17 in total, but like before he had 30 pushing. Now we're seeing Pathless gain ground again. Camel Riders aren't a bad solution to what's coming out here, by the way. Like, keep in mind that it's Knights plus Arbitrier. I would really love to see Pathless add in Spears. And yes, agreed. Consecrate is huge at this stage of the game. I'm glad someone highlighted that. Because he's playing mass Knights, the reason why he's able to do this with these numbers constantly without dying is because of all these consecrations. Look at the savings. 105 food and 75 gold per. Arbitrier are only costing 60 food and 30 gold each. Consecrate is huge. You have to remember, when you reach Castle Age, you get a tech unlock ability that allows you to save 25% on wood and gold costs as well, not just the food. And that's the game breaker. That's where you change things up for the better. Honestly, he needs to use more Consecrates, though. Like, I'm not going to lie. There's a lot of buildings here that aren't being used. Nice looking for the wraparound. Wait, why are the traders here? Wait, what? What? What's he doing? Calb? Oh my God, I think he jumped the gun. No way. Calb thought he had the trade route. Wait, is this everything? No, the villagers are still working on the farm, so it's not Control-Shift-A. Oh my God, he's legit just trading with the north side, right? He is? He rallied it there. What is he doing? Calb, master of old and late games. This game has gone on too long. Even his brain is broken. Oh no. I don't get it. I don't know. Where are they Dude, this is like a full Omniflex. It's like, yo, you want to trade? No, I want to trade there. He heard the rates were good here. Only if you get back. Has Kalp just given up? He's like, if we all trade to the same market, it's going to crash the market. No, it doesn't work that way, guys. Kalp just lost the game. He literally just lost the game. Oh my god. I think he genuinely thought that he'd secured the trade. I mean, this is it. This is done. Get him out. Go next. No food, no wood, no gold. Kalp is a beggar on the streets. But Pathless will give him no dono. Knights and Arbitrary account continues to boom. Hand cannoneers, that's all you're going to see here. He's starting the trade again. It's almost like Kalp has sat there and gone, you know how like OP and strong Abbasid trade is in the late game? I can start fresh and I'm still going to win. Buddy. Pal. I don't think that's how it works. Oh, man. Dude, what a painful game. I can't believe what we just saw. This is... I think he was winning as well. Like, that's the crazy part. Like, why my brain is digesting this? Because, like, it was a stalemate, sure. But I started to feel like the hand candy account was getting there. And the Bombard answer meant Jeanne could never turn a fight. But now, there is no realm in which Pathless loses this, right? He would have to essentially send all of his traders to this trade post, which I don't see happening. Oh my god. I mean, the thing is, like people saying, like, oh no, he just selected all. He just like, no, he legit kept sending the traders. So he confidently thought that he had broken the keep line. Because remember, we have God Vision, right? So Kalp, look at what he saw. He assumed that he'd broken the Red Palace here, he'd broken a keep, and that was it. He didn't realize there was another castle, made that two behind this. I genuinely think he thought he'd opened the trade route. But not looking before you cross the road is something that I learned in primary school. Kalp just learnt it well into his 20s. Oh man, maybe 30s. I don't know how old Kalp is. This is rough. And now Pathless, he's striking both sides. He says, wait. I actually quite like kill and trade. Wait, come back. I got more down here. Kalp is lost. This man has, I don't even know how many marketplaces. I'm going to estimate he has about 15 marketplaces. 10. Okay, I jumped the gun a bit. But there's no way you reboom trade anymore. This is just too many knights. This is too little left to pick off the bone. It took an hour. But Kalp's brain went into overdrive mode. He overclocked it a bit too much. And it seems he didn't have that water cooling installed. Pathless, thank you for sending this game. Also, screw you for sending this game. What a messy last few minutes we've had. Intriguing to see the late game of these two civs clash. I'm not sure how like indicative this is of a true outcome. Because legit, like Kalp just kind of dragged his face across the keyboard about 3 minutes ago. But a win's a win, man. And Pathless takes them every day of the week. People asking why would he trade to the north side? Because he would have got like 30 more gold. Like, look at this, where this trade post is. Look at the line. Look what the line would have been up here. Like, the line is literally the entire map. Also, I'm sorry, I have to address that. Honestly, that looked like match fixing. Ah, yes, the classic betting on your pub game. Wait a second. Guys, this is not a competitive game. Just, I want to emphasize that. This is not match fixing. Oh. Dude, you actually know you're right. It is match fixing. Think about all the people that lost their channel points because they bet that Kalp was going to win this. He done it on purpose. I know you're joking, but I had to comment on it. Oh, man. No, he genuinely, like... Guys, I always emphasize this enough. We watch from a God vision perspective. He did not have God vision. I think he legit believed that he was going to get additional income by taking that trade route. And he thought it was clear. But now, the victory of this game is clear. With the Bombards in, the Knights as well, it's looking like a matter of time before its curtains closed. He's going to try to chase in onto the siege. But House of Wisdom down to half HP. I don't expect him to die in the initial wave, but the amount of castles coming out... Wait. Pathless. You got 7k stone. I see enough room for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 more keeps. Can we Magano line this crap? Because to be honest, them champions are pretty good. Oh, I see. He just wants to get the keeps even deeper. Jeanne, the one-man army. Might as well rename a Rambo there. Oh, man, dude. Like, this game... I think this is the point where Kalp is just, like, he's processing the loss. This game, there is no doubt in his mind. He knows this game is over. There is no way you fight back into this now. But it's also just a kick to the teeth the way this one played out in the end. Imagine you spent over an hour to get to that as the reason you lost. Maybe he felt it was kind of going that way and he needed the extra gold and that's why he took the risk, but an hour of your life only to watch all your traders walk into a grinder. Like, honestly, anyone who's played Red Alert Yuri's Revenge, those traders, it kind of reminded me of what happens when you get mind controlled and you watch your units walk into a grinder just to be butchered. Same vibes. He's at least going to stop additional keeps, but, like, come on. These are all have Arbalest emplacements, remember, because he's got the red keep. These are all just shotgunning down units. And we've got the new wave. 5 Bombards moving in. And that'll probably be us waving goodbye to Kalp at this stage. Will we get 500 worker kills? I don't think so. 500 collectively across the game, yes. But I have a feeling this is about to be over. He doesn't have a front line anymore, right? 31 military in total. All of them hand cannoneers, so no clear answer to the cannons. More traders just dying left, right, and center down here. I do know that Kalp streams. If you enjoy these type of games, be sure to give him a follow to catch more of them. Pathless, unfortunately, does not. I think I'm going to have to limit myself to like 2 or 3 Kalp games a week. There's got to be a risk of ODing on these things. I think we learned a lot here, though. It's really cool to kind of see the late game Jeanne, because most of the time it's decided and GG's come out when she reaches level 3, but we see the counters potential, right? Like playing into Bombards is a solution to her. Pretty cool. Hand cannoneer is a bit dicey. This game, many forms of dicey. GG is going to get called. It took an hour and 5 minutes to get the dub, but Jeanne D'Arc gets there in the end. If you haven't already, by the way, subscribe and let me know how disgusted you are by A, trade, B, Jeanne.